Holy shish kebabs, kabiddle caboozle, baby. Here we go. So even before we get started here on tonight's live episode recording of the Pull Hook Golf podcast, there's been some stuff that's been going on good old X and Twitter. And I do want to go ahead and acknowledge this and say, because I feel like there's an apology due. Okay, so there's an apology. Here's the thing. Let's go ahead and just be a bigger man in all of this, and certainly when it comes to the apology, I apologize to absolutely fucking nobody, baby. Fuck off, baby.
Oh,
The LIV cult is fucked. They don't like it, and they are coming after your boy, and I can fucking handle it. Let's fucking go, baby. Here we go. You didn't think that I thought when it comes to going heel on LIV, that poking that little fucking hornet's nest of goddamn Saudis, you think I was going to be a little bit intimidated? Let's fucking do this.
I'm very confused.
Matt has a lot of time on his hands.
Here we go. All right, boys, how we feeling tonight?
Oh man, good.
I feel sorry for your phone. Feels like you type very angrily.
Oh no, this has been a blast, dude.
That's
the one thing they don't. Yeah, the good old Devro, the Southwest collection, very clean, very, very clean. I got the white one too with the cocks that are fighting. That's fantastic.
Yeah, nothing better than being in the middle of a vicious cockfight.
Good old cockfight. I thought about breaking out that one for tonight, but I'm like, you know what? Let's break out the black one. Pretend like, what's really gotten to me, that this is the death of Pull Hook Golf. Yeah, fucking right.
Somebody call for a guillotine.
Oh, it's absolutely phenomenal. Can't wait to get into it. But yeah, boys.
Cheers. Let's. Oh yeah, absolutely. What do we? So I got coffee. You got the Fisky. He's got Divine. Oh, here's one for you.
Bless up, thug. Come on, Kang.
We'll wait for some of the audience to get in here. We got the Scratch Golf Show hopping in. Let's go, boys. Are we roasting? Oh, we're roasting tonight. These clowns have no idea that they have been absolutely baited in all of this. You didn't think that poking the hornet's nest, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing? Ooh, you got another thing coming, baby. LIV crowd. And then we got Golfer HD hopping on. He's like, woo. We've got Cart Barn guys. Good old Kyle. And Butsy's ready for war as well. Look at him. He looks like good old, what's his face? Bill Murray from Caddyshack.
Yeah.
I was with you when you grabbed that hat. I was a big fan of that hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Where's the hot tub? Where is the hot tub? Brent's outside. Brent's got his cigar going. Buttsy is in the corner. Nobody puts Buttsy in the corner.
I'll put myself in the fucking corner. Yeah.
Oh God. This is absolutely fantastic. Oh yeah, you gotta love it. 253 viewers on YouTube must all be bots. So
they are, of course.
That is absolutely 100%. We buy them every single time. Why not?
Love a good robot.
Bots are taking over the world. You might as well make friends with them.
AI and quantum computing.
Podcast is Pull Hook Golf.
Buttsy happens to be a bot, so he's actually not real, folks. If you see Buttsy, the other way. Sorry, over here. I got my screen backwards. So Buttsy over here, he's not actually real. He's AI generated. So wait till the LIV cult decides to go after that one. And then we got Brent Grant. He's not really a PGA Tour player. He didn't play a year on the PGA Tour. He didn't play Corn Ferry Tour. He didn't play in Bogota.
I do not play golf. All I do is smoke
He
cigars.
does not play golf. He's not very good at it at all. And I'm not a mini tour dropout. Absolutely not. And I am an absolute. I got called the other day. A guy's like, you're an 8 handicap. And I was like, dude, I wish I was an 8 handicap. I'd be taking a lot of money from a lot of people if I was an 8 handicap. Let's go.
Buttsy, your wine is giving you away.
It's shaking. It's absolutely shaking. Oh,
What's the vintage?
man.
What are we? So you got Blue Label, I assume, Cookie, and Buttsy,
I
what
sure
you got?
do.
I got a
what's the vintage?
2021 Honig
There you
Napa.
go. There you go.
Yeah, Honig Napa. It's a nice Cabernet Sauvignon. And it's
Beautiful.
pretty good.
You
Yeah.
Have
guys
you
ready to
guys,
get counted in?
Fuck it. Yeah, let's go. Let's run
Let's
it.
do it. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody, to Pull Hook Golf, the podcast. I'm your host, Matt Cook. Tonight we got Buttsy. Let's get him an applause here. Good googly moogly. Oh, the people love the Buttsy. And then we've got Brent Grant, Tour Insider. Just got to let that breathe sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But on tonight's episode, we've got the tee-off report with Buttsy. We're going to be getting into some clothing there. Then we've got some TGL recaps because, man, TGL has been absolutely fire, and I'll be talking about all of that. Had a full day of it yesterday, had a match tonight, and certainly it is absolutely killing it right now. People, even the ones who are like, oh, this is crap, the technology sucks, even they're turning around to be like, holy shit, this is awesome. Awesome. And then we've got some Grass League updates, our local Grass League out here at Grass Clippings. We've got some updates around that. We've got the Genesis recap that happened this past weekend. And then we've got the Mexico Open at VidantaWorld. That's all one word. Apparently I'm supposed to pronunciate that. Well, we've got a preview there. Butsy's beautiful voice. And then we've got our last topic of the night that everybody's going to want to hang on to. LIV Golf is on the decline.
No.
All right. So,
No.
They are?
please, no. And you can tell, too, by the way these Twitter X accounts are absolutely freaking out right now that they're in a tough spot right now. So,
Adelaide was sick, though, dude. I watched a little bit of that. That was
there
pretty
you go. See, you're one of the viewers for that pumped it up. That's great. Now, let's start off with a shout out to our sponsors. So good old Devro Golf, folks. We're wearing it tonight. I've got the polo on. Butsy's got the hat on. Brent's got the t-shirt on underneath because it's cold outside. And fortunately, we haven't gotten him a sweater yet from good old Devro, but we will. Now, go to devrogolf.com. That is DEVEREUX golf.com. Utilize promo code PULLHOOKGOLF20 for 20% off your entire order at devrogolf.com. Also want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Johnny Walker. Tonight we've got the Blue Label. By the way, I don't know, I haven't shown this yet. I don't know if I should show it quite yet, but the Blue Label bottle here with the engraving Pull Hook Golf on it. Very nice gesture. Toodaloo to good old Johnny Walker. And by the way, make sure you're 21 years and older. Drink responsibly, folks. Little disclaimer there.
Yes.
Can we see the bottle?
You want to see the bottle?
Yeah.
I do want to see the
All
bottle.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on, let's see the bottle.
Come on.
Dude, and they
Oh, I hear glasses.
it's their
Whoa.
little deal there. So we've got, you guys see that right there? Pull Hook
Yeah.
Golf engraved on that.
Yeah.
Johnny Walker blue.
Go on, Kang.
Ooh. Oh, the LIV cult's gonna absolutely lose their minds over that as well.
Go off, Kang.
Yep.
Okay, no, like that's sick.
That's pretty
Okay,
dope.
that's
Pretty
really cool,
damn
dude.
dope.
Yeah.
They're gonna say you bought it.
Well, we did. Well,
Absolutely.
of course
Yep.
we did.
Of course we did. Yeah. why
Literally,
not?
they're spending millions of dollars on making all of this up.
Yeah, I mean, this show, we've got a budget of about Buttsy, how much do you put into this show in terms
More
of
than
your
the USAID.
investment?
Man, I'm about lot of lifetime. I've been investing my time.
That's exactly right. But
Invest
Buttsy
in it.
is by
Time
far
is
our
money.
biggest investor. So he definitely spending a lot of time doing this. Now, as we get into it, let's move into the good old tee off report with our biggest investor, Buttsy. And Buttsy, my question for you tonight: why do women get to wear cutoff shorts or shirts and men don't?
Not real fucking sure, Matt. Yeah, that's a good question, actually. In the spirit of diversity, I think we should all be able to wear a cutoff shirt, but it it should actually be the other way, right? Like women's arms are not as big as men's arms typically. Uh Now maybe I want to backtrack on that because like 60% of the PGA Tour today that they look like fucking jockeys or like toddler mannequins. So
Ooh,
yeah, maybe that's not true. Maybe most of those chicks are actually a little beefier than some of the guys that are swinging golf clubs out there. But yeah, I think that the cutoff golf shirt should definitely be a thing. I can't believe nobody's done it yet, especially living in Arizona. And I would love to pioneer that. I think it's ridiculous that men can't wear a cutoff golf shirt. I mean, we should already be wearing shorts on the PGA Tour too, but that goes without saying. You know, I'll live. We should be wearing cutoffs too. Let's
wow.
just fuck it. Let's just fucking braid our pit hair and wear it proud. Maybe throw some sponsor logos tied up in there. I don't know.
There it
Yeah.
is. I mean, that's phenomenal stuff out of you. So just to recap here, folks, Buttsy really feels that it is sexist for golf courses to be criticizing the way that men dress, but without we can't wear cutoff shirts at the golf course, and
Why does
women
the
can.
cutoff polo not exist for men?
Oh, the sleeveless, right?
Yeah,
Oh, now I get where you're heading with it. That's fantastic. Yeah,
sleeveless.
a good old
Yeah.
tank top with a collar.
Yeah, sleeveless in Seattle.
Ooh,
I'd vote for that.
absolutely, all
I'm in.
day. That's phenomenal.
Thanks.
So let's. Oh,
Alright.
is there more?
What?
Is there more? I thought you had more.
No,
More?
fuck. That's it.
More.
Yeah, that's all I got. Tired.
That's fantastic. So let's get into the TGL recaps. This one I will go ahead and just run us through because over President's Day yesterday, we had 3 matches go on. So we've got the Bay Club versus Boston Common Golf. These were great matches, by the way. So Bay Club ended up winning 5-4. We've got Atlanta Drive going up against the Bay Club in the doubleheader. For the Bay Club, that is. And sure enough, Bay Club wins again, 6-5. They are number 1 in the league in the standings in just about every statistical form you have through the TGL. And then we've got Atlanta Drive versus LAGC. And that one came down to the very end, and Atlanta Drive ended up winning 6-5. Tonight, we had Tiger coming back into the arena for the first time since his mother's passing. And that was the last time that she had seen Tiger play golf. So you had a pretty emotional Tiger there. And he had a little interview with Scott Van Pelt beforehand where he was kind of tearing up and everything. And sure enough, it was not what Tiger wanted tonight. We did not see Tiger's best, which is probably respectable in terms of everything that's going on with him and all the emotions that were going on. Kevin Kisner really struggled as well. And then Tom Kim was the only bright spot for good old Jupiter Golf Links. And then you had New York Golf Club finally showed up, gentlemen. So the stiffest team on the entire roster, New York Golf Club ends up winning 10-3, and they look good. But the one thing that I told everybody in advance is that these guys are going to figure out the nuances to this technology. These guys are going to be able to start to play better golf. Matches are going to get closer. We're going to see better golf overall.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we've seen.
Who was the whatest team? What
I
team
just-
was
I
The
wanna
Bay
know,
Club.
that?
Have
Okay.
you noticed? And I think they're avoiding this on purpose, but they have not loaded up the Hero World Challenge golf course digitally for the TGL to compete
Yeah.
on. And I think
They're not ready for it.
no, that's for a reason. It rivals everything that they're doing on there, and they know it. And I know they have the rights to it. They could easily digitize that golf course. And it's so hard that not even Tiger and the TGL want to take it on a fucking screen.
I mean, it's too daunting. I mean, it's
The Hero World Challenge. I mean, Albany, that golf course is top notch. I said it last
so
week.
difficult.
If it was only in the United States, Buttsy, we would see it there at a U.S. Open.
Every
They
year.
would play every
year.
major there probably
Yeah.
forever because
Yeah.
there's not a place on earth, at least, that rivals it in terms of difficulty. So we can go through this every week if we want to, but
We have every week.
I mean, maybe we
Literally,
have.
I think ever since the Hero World Challenge came to a conclusion, we have been talking about the Hero World Challenge
Yeah.
every single week because Buttsy does love himself some Hero World
Yeah.
Challenge.
Well, it seems like a love-hate relationship for Buttsy because he
No, I
loves
hate
the
it 'cause
fact that, yeah, it's such a weird thing.
Yeah, I just want the chance to go out there and play and maybe break 500, you know?
Oh, well, no. I mean, they wouldn't even let you play because you'd break the course record by at least 5.
That's
No.
exactly right.
Anyways, I hate to keep bringing it up, but it's just
Did
something.
you guys see
that-
Butsy's swing a couple nights ago? Good Lord.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're
the
really
purest
close
golf
to-
swing of all time.
I mean, unreal, that man in a lefty stance, just the hands for a big guy like you,
Yeah.
just unbelievable.
It is.
Yeah, I've
It's,
been doing some stem cell training and shit, so
Peptides, baby, peptides. Now,
Yeah.
Ryan Shane says, has the trade window opened up for TGL yet? Yeah, well, we don't have a trade window as of yet. I would love to see some of the improvements and changes going on with the TGL, but man, I will say this, I was wrong about the alternate shot because it was actually a lot of fun yesterday watching 3 matches in a row and seeing the guys playing well. That was the big difference. Once you see these guys start to figure out the technology and stuff, and you can hear them, they're talking about it too. They're like, hey, I got to go a little bit further left than that. And then Justin Thomas is sitting there going, man, I just can't get through it to the left side in order, like in a golf simulator. And he's talking about this with his teammates and everything. And it's a cool experience. And I think everybody now has had enough practice time on the technology. And it's absolutely killing it. And it shows that people have a real interest in team golf in the right environment. And I think
absolutely.
I would love to see something outside as well. That is actually team match play. But we shall see, because guess what? Grass League, as we're talking about team golf, the Grass League has qualifiers coming up, by the way, folks. April 30th. So it's $1,200 for a 2-man team. And this will make you, if you get into the top portion or whatever it is, you will end up being eligible for the draft. So there are several franchises throughout the country. Obviously, it's happening at Grass Clippings here in Phoenix, Arizona, under the lights. But man, this league, high stakes, baby, high stakes. Been talking with our guy Todd, and sure enough, he has reiterated how much is at stake for everybody.
there's a lot of stakes out there.
Buttsy, did you happen to play around a golf Sunday?
We did not play Sunday
hear it.
evening. That has been postponed. So that's why I put up some simulator vids and tagged those guys just so they could see my stuff.
Absolutely.
And, I said, hey, don't miss the boat on talent. And I don't think they're going to miss the boat. They got life jackets on. We're ready to roll. The motor started. So maybe later this week.
That is awesome. You know, we are always willing to help out with the Grass League. I let those guys know. I'm like, hey, if you need us to come in there and hack it around a little bit, we will certainly do our part out
fuck
there.
yeah.
So
Yep.
that's that is an ongoing conversation. But Anti-Live says there needs to be a Champions League team on the TGL captained by Bernhard Longer, right? Trot golfer. I wonder if they'd call the anchor if Bernhard was out there on the TGL circuit or even on the Grass League circuit, because the one thing I did realize about the Grass League, which is pretty cool, is that because it's a par 3 course, you can have a women's team out there. You can have a senior team out there and compete. Some people today from our audience on Twitter were talking about, would love to see a women's team out there for the TGL. But what about for the Grass League, having a all-female team out there?
I don't hate that at all.
This could be the first time we'd see it.
There's some talent. both in golf and other ways out there here in in Scottsdale and in that area. And I think they would definitely be able to use the depth of golf talent in the YouTube and Instagram influencer world to be able to put together a pretty solid team.
We should have bovine out there. Like we should have maybe even like some animals and stuff participating.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I know some squirrels that can really hack it.
Not like a squirrel and a chicken.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe that pig from Charlotte's Web. He's pretty fucking smart.
Yep. And don't forget Donkey. Donkey's pretty good.
Carry
Absolutely. Carry on. Brian Shane says all Aimpoint team. There you go.
Ooh, we had a
thinking.
nice little conversation about that on the back of the range at TPC.
Tell us about it, Brent. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the Aimpoint, because that has been a big discussion with, I believe it was Lucas Glover that brought up the Aimpoint and how, it's kind of rude for people to be stepping in people's lines all around the green. And sure enough, you've got some intel here, because Colin Morikawa came right back at him and goes, hey, if we're banning Aimpoint, we should be banning long putters. Yeah,
I mean, his point was that it slows down play, and that's a definite thing. It's a fact, and it wasn't like he went out there and said, "Hey, player A, B, C, whatever, you all need to stop doing Aimpoint." So the fact that Colin kind of got his panties in a wad and was like, "Well, you need to stop using the long putt," it's like that has nothing to do with the conversation. So clearly he took it personally, because he knows deep down inside there is a problem with Aimpoint. And the rest of us, those that actually read greens with our eyes the correct way, the artists, if you will, all know that Aimpoint is I think it should be banned, honestly, and because it is slow and it is absolute horseshit.
I have a theory on the slow play thing, and I really think if you take away the Aimpoint, I think some players just have a cadence that is just fucking slow. Like, if you take away the Aimpoint and you take away that aspect of their slowness, they're going to make up for it, like, somewhere else in the hole. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to take longer standing behind this. There's just an amount of time that has to occur to these guys to, like, functionally pull the trigger. I don't know. I just think they're going to be slow no matter what. They'll find a way to pick it back up somewhere else. Yeah.
Beautiful. Great analysis. I love it from both of you, right? Because I've done Aimpoint, and because sometimes I have a tough time reading greens, I'll read greens with my feet. I feel like it can work, but I think it's also partially delusional to where you're like, oh, this is 1 degree slope. I don't know how people do that. 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degrees of slope, and then sticking their fingers up there like they're doing something too.
When you pull out the stimp meter and you watch it week in, week out, even on the best greens that those guys play on. And Brent, you know this. If you fucking pull out a stimp meter and you drop the ball and you drop 10 balls, there's no such thing as a perfect putt. Nothing is exactly consistent. Nothing moves the same way exactly. So to try to put like an exact science on how a putt's going to break, I mean, I think you can get close, but you just have to feel the fucking ball in the hole at some point, right? Like, it just is what it is. It's not going to be the same if you roll it the same again. I mean, we've all hit putts that we thought we missed that went in the hole. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And I think actually the worst part about it, I mean, the slow play again is pretty obvious. I think everybody can agree that it's ridiculous, but they had to make a rule that you couldn't take a level out on the greens on the course, but you could use it on the practice green. Now, what you see is you go out there on the practice green and you literally see numbers and lines on the practice green, and you're like, well, okay, so they're out there literally measuring and they're practicing, and it's just this constant thing. And then you get out there and you play behind somebody like I don't know, Akshay Bhatia, who wears metal spikes, and you can see him
got the metal spikes.
You can literally see him walk basically the whole line all the way up to his putt. So I mean, he's taking hundreds of steps per green, and it's just fucking bullshit, and it's terrible to play behind him or with him for that matter.
Does he still rock the metal cleats on the tour?
Yeah.
Thank God he's not fat.
Tour? Wow. I never see. That's one of the things you can't really ever tell on TV, I feel like, is what guys are wearing metal spikes versus just traditional And then you got Tony Finau wearing basically no spikes at all with the Jordans.
Oh, he wears tennis shoes. Yeah,
If you're gonna do that, like it could be like golf's version of a Zamboni. As soon as that fucking group leaves the green, somebody comes out, they roll it real fast. All right, cool. Now it's the same for you. It's just not golf.
Well, you've seen what they do at Augusta, right?
Oh, that's
Have you seen what they do at Augusta? So they don't even rig the bunkers. They don't like they blow up. Like, let's say there's some wind and maybe a few leaves or some twigs flew on the green, and or somebody hit out of the bunker. They literally clean the whole green, and then somebody else comes in. I mean, they can't do that obviously normally, and Augusta's pretty special. But I mean, could you imagine how long play would be? I mean, the amount of guys that wear metal spikes is enough for it to at least make it interesting.
I think the caddy should have to follow the player around with a 300-pound roller, no matter where they walk on the green, and just
piece of PVC pipe or something.
Yeah, just hey man. I mean,
it's courtesy. It's just common courtesy that you leave the place better than how you found it, right, boys? I mean, come on, we're giving life advice out here on
That's absolutely right. Let's move into the Genesis recap while we're getting into all of this PGA Tour talk. Genesis recap. I watched it Sunday, and I got to tell you, I started getting nerves sitting there on the couch watching them on Torrey Pond. Torrey Pond was in such beautiful condition. It was perfect weather on Sunday, and you had Mav McNeely going absolutely ham out there.
Incredible.
It was incredible. His front nine that he shot, and then I mean, he really played a very solid back nine as well. And then you had Ludwig Oberg, who started the day with a couple birdies, then all of a sudden faltered. He had that little lull that he goes through sometimes, and sure enough, made a couple bogeys.
Yeah.
But then towards that back nine, man, that dude just started getting right back in there, started making a lot of birdies, and here was one of the TV complaints. So problem is, we didn't see all of Ludwig Oberg's 3 birdies to catch up, and he made 3 birdies in a row. So I think we ended up seeing the putt of the last one.
Basically.
And I put it out there. I was like, man, they are missing a huge opportunity. They need an extra producer in the truck in order to grab that footage and then play it either in the bottom right-hand corner or like the dual screen and have it be player on a run or player to watch. And all of a sudden you got every single shot, and it can be replays. It can be quick recaps of each shot that he took, but at least you're seeing every single shot that took place during that run. I think that was a little bit of the letdown. It was CBS. Sure. Jim Nantz was brilliant as always. Tiger got into the booth, and Tiger was, I hoped we someday get to see Tiger in the booth because there's so much damn knowledge that he has.
I think he
called every single shot. He was like Tony Romo in there. Remember when Tony Romo first became a broadcaster and he was just calling every single play before it happened?
Instantly. Yeah.
That was Tiger Woods in the booth, and it was pretty cool to see.
They need to bring back like nicknames. Like, remember when Stadler was playing? They'd be like, "Oh, the Walrus."
Yes.
Like, when do we start calling Aberg like Iceberg or something like that? You know,
you might have
running through his veins.
Yeah, because he's clutch, dude. He's proven that he's
blood
clutch.
or
like,
ice.
I mean, it's incredible, right? I mean, I'm ready for it. Come on, bring it. Or what?
Yeah, remember Icebox from fucking Little Giants, dude?
Oh, we need a laughter thing. Gosh, darn it. But we'll give you just a little DJ Khaled right there. Brent is shook right now. I've never seen Brent not be able to say anything. That might be a new thing. But you might have just figured out the mute button for the poor guy.
Or the actual mute button. But honestly, so I looked up the highlights just to kind of see how it went. And the first comment was, come on, PGA Tour, can't you string together an actual timeline? They went back and forth, and you didn't see Ludwig until the very end. I mean, you basically saw all of Mavericks round. You saw a couple of shots from Denny, and bless Denny, man. That guy is going to break through at some point.
Like,
he is so
I'm glad
good.
You brought up Denny McCarthy, but go ahead, Buttsy.
But
this is the shit I'm talking about, though. Maverick McNeely, like on his 5th birdie or whatever the fuck it was. Like, why aren't we showing an F-16 fly by right after he makes the putt? Like, cut
and
to
Tom
an
Cruise
F-16.
jumping out of a plane.
Maverick, you're Maverick. Cut to the plane.
You're spot on.
Iceberg, you know, show Leo on the fucking door out there about to die. I don't know. Just there's a lot of action that we could add here. It'd be really
I mean,
entertaining.
I think you just, signed your resume and just send it off. I think
I
that's
don't
what you need to do.
want-
The
no,
other thing I
that's-
did say is how I would love to see there be a couple more waste management open style tournaments throughout the year. Not just
You would.
one on the PGA Tour, but like have it be in a major city like a Miami or, for instance, a New York City, and have that stadium feel to it with everybody like a little bit rowdy and everything. You can have some music playing, whatever, but have it be authentic to that city, because that's the type of stuff that goes on there versus, and by the way, this was a perfect example of a golf course that needed no frills whatsoever. Torrey Pines, San Diego, like the calm, peaceful, like the purest style of golf. I
Absolutely.
thought that part of it was perfect.
People living in tents on the side of the freeway, like we should
Yeah,
probably
exactly.
highlight that about the area. I mean, it's
Well,
shit like
I
that.
mean,
Not in not in
Not in
Torrey
San Diego.
Pines. That's downtown San Diego. That's just California in general.
well, I was going to say,
well, or
yeah,
at least like a Kentucky Derby vibe at one of the events, right? Where guys get dressed up, you know, and like turn of the century shit, and there's a cocktail for the tournament. I don't know, just some flavor here. We need like some action.
yeah.
We
I
do
mean,
need
that
some action.
that was what was amazing about the broadcast is you
The
hear all
hero?
these guys. Well, obviously, but you hear these guys like when something happens, they're like yelling into the mic, right? When it wasn't 2 seconds ago when they were just like, and he makes this putt. Oh, that was really good. And now they're trying to instill some sort of magic into what's happening. And I mean, I just wish at the end of the day, like you said, I mean, Torrey Pines was probably set up as close to how a U.S. Open would be. Obviously, they had some rain recently, so it was a little softer than normal, but all the pins were very similar to the U.S. Open. The fact that Ludwig made that putt from the same place that
Keep
Tiger
going.
made his putt, made his putt on 18 against Rocco. I think it's just it was amazing to watch. It's one of my most favorite places, and the fact that it's right there on the ocean, honestly makes it better than Riv. But that's just me. What do you think?
Like
Buttsy?
imagine Snoop in the booth.
Yeah, exactly. Or
Yeah,
you?
like, oh, he ain't gonna be happy with that motherfucker. He blew it by. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like Snoop would be. You ever heard Snoop on the Animal Planet shit?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah, with the
unbelievable.
mongoose that runs away
Oh
from
god.
the
Or he's talking about it on Planet Earth where the little lizard runs
the
from
lizard. The
snakes on
lizard.
beach.
Yeah.
Snoop's commenting
Oh,
that.
damn.
They got his ass.
Well, not
If he
today,
was on the
bitch.
PGA Tour, scratch golf show, he'll lead the party at Rocket Mortgage. Dude, get out there and get it done.
Absolutely. But Matt, so what if they?
You're
so,
right, son.
But this isn't that the point of all of these elevated events is to kind of make them basically pseudo majors and get people to really get out there and really kind of get after it. Or am I
No.
missing something?
I think you're missing the actual real point behind the Signature Series events.
Oh.
It was to get all the best players in the world together at the same tournaments and pay them a boatload of money with no cut.
Oh, that's
Raise
right.
the-
That's
raise
right.
the
But there was
bar.
a cut this week. There was a cut.
There was a cut this week. And good old Ludwig, man, that just the way he finished was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Let's move. Oh, I did want to mention real quick, Denny McCarthy.
Yeah.
Denny McCarthy.
Oh boy, Denny.
Denny's going to break through. Denny's way too good of a putter, but I have noticed
He's the
something
best.
with Denny that he struggles when he gets into the lead on Sunday.
Yep. His
He
ball
all of a sudden
striking
gets
drops.
nervy. Yep. The putter
He's just got to
starts.
do it. He's got to do it once.
Yeah, he's got to get it there. And once he does, he's pretty incredible. Even what Maverick was doing off the tee on Sunday, considering he shot what he shot. You saw it there on 18, but to finish the day there to make par. But yeah, even last year at the Valero, right during that playoff against Akshay, he literally laid the sod over from 94 yards. And the guy's one of the best wedge players on tour, and yet clearly something was wrong. But I believe in him. He's incredible. He's one of the best putters of all time. So he's definitely
somebody,
gonna break through.
Brant, and I hate to cut you off, but he's somebody
go ahead.
who I think would do really well talking to a guy like Thomas Dietrich, who has struggled on Sundays and be like, hey, man, what is this meditation routine that you went through in order to get to that level? I love seeing guys because what has all the greats ever said? That it all happens in between the ears, right? 90% of golf is mental. What is the one part that doesn't get worked on the most? The mental side.
Yeah.
And so the guys that actually do, I mean, we saw it with Tiger growing up and being very Zen and Buddha, like from his mom and like his dad with all the mental warfare that he would bring to him on the golf course. It was absolutely something that, you know, Tiger was ready for when those big moments came. And I just think guys can do a lot better job when it comes to that side of it.
And everybody talks about that, right? The mental game between the ears, like you said. But what's the result of being in control of that, right? What does it really boil down to? Like in my mind, that puts you in control of your nervous system. Like that's what it does. It takes away, because your nervous system, we all know. You said he laid the sod over it, right? The only way that you lay the sod over it as one of the most elite players in the world is for your nervous system to completely fail you and shut down, and you have no control over what your body's doing because your brain is in such a state of anxiety and fear and terror all at the same time. If you can block that out, you're a fucking, those are winners.
Yeah, and it comes down to self-belief. I mean, that's really
or
what
being really dumb.
Well, yeah, and they talk about that. They talk about that
baby.
in the talent code.
Good old Dustin Johnson.
Yeah,
he hits ball, Bobby, and I go find it.
Go fade it. Make sure you fade it. Yeah, I mean, it literally gets to a point.
By the way, disclaimer: I love Dustin Johnson. I'm a huge Dustin Johnson fan. And I love that he has just kind of gone off into the twilight of his career now. And
why
just
make your $1 billion and just say
goes out on the water all off season, doesn't give two shits about golf, and just goes. He's awesome.
He proved it. He proved it for 12 years. I mean, he won almost every exit
ever.
Yeah. I mean, Dustin literally was one of the most consistent golfers for almost 15 years.
Okay.
And again, just go ahead, Denny. Ooh, that's
I thought this was a good question. So Denny and or Mav, do they make the Ryder Cup team? I'm going to start with you, Buttsy.
Mav should.
Mav does.
Denny needs a little more proofington.
Wow, Mav, I agree with both of you guys right now.
Mav makes it almost just because, I mean, obviously he's incredible and he's playing great. Hopefully he can keep it going. But it's his relationships with the other guys that although who knows, because he's a little bit outspoken against some of the things that the PGA Tour does. So we will see if it gets political or not. But
it could.
Yeah,
but
hopefully not.
With Mav, I think he's got to keep playing well throughout the rest of the year. I think he's going to actually have a big year overall. But he does have to keep playing, keep winning.
I need him to play better because I have an absolutely super rare rookie card of Mav McNeely that is clear acetate. Very, very hard to come across. It is his rookie upper deck card, and I need him to do better because this thing is fucking trending.
Love that for you. Love that for you. And now we've got the Mexico Open at VidantaWorld. Okay, VidantaWorld is one word.
Vidante,
but yeah.
VidantaWorld. All right. Beautiful. So with VidantaWorld, we've got the odds. I'm going to go over those real quick. Remember last year, Butsy's guy, good old Jake Knapp.
The nap time.
This was his big breakthrough win, remember? And I've been seeing a lot of clips from last year's round of his super smooth, silky golf swing, bombing it. Absolutely bombing it.
There was a video on YouTube of somebody talking about how good his swing is and that everybody should try to recreate it because it's such an amazing golf swing. And you're like, there's only one human being on the planet that could pull that off as consistently.
I feel like I have like a miniature version of Jake Knapp.
Quite literally, because it's literally short.
You might have the exact opposite of Jake Knapp. You go a little short and you whack.
A little?
It's
a little. Great follow through though.
Great follow through. My God. And the hands
same.
on you, by the way. I saw those videos in slow-mo. I had no idea when you were working with Martin Chuck that you were that steep. I had no idea. You're getting some width in your swing. And
we've been working on that. We've been working on that. Yeah. Structure is what those nerds call that. And,
structure.
yeah, we're building some scaffolding there in the downswing. So, yeah, be Nap. That's right. Mr. File
Yep.
Transfer himself, the Napster. That's right.
Absolutely. Now, as we talk about Vidanta, let me go over the odds this week, okay? We've got good old Metal Spike Aimpoint man himself, Akshay Bhatia, plus 1,400. Thank you, Brent, for those details.
The Mantis.
And he's the favorite this week. The brown praying mantis, as Buttsy nicknamed him last year.
That's my fucking favorite.
No, but that goes back to your point, though, that like we had Craig Stadler, the Walrus. You think he wanted to be called the Walrus?
No.
I don't think
no.
so.
Walrus
And so
is a big,
it's
fat
like
bird on the beach.
it should be Akshay Bhatia, the brown praying mantis.
Maybe
Like,
take the brown out of it.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
maybe
can just go praying mantis.
Yeah.
Just because he's super skinny. But
Yeah.
if there ever was a brown praying mantis, it would be Akshay Bhatia. Then we've got Rasmus Højgaard at plus 1,800. We've got Kirk Kitayama, Sam Stevens, Patrick Rogers, who he was up there over the weekend at the Genesis. They're all at plus 2,200. Steven Jägermeister, Taylor Moore, and then Michael Kim at plus 2,500. Harry
Jaeger
Hall
Bomb.
is plus 3,000. Aaron Rye, Ben Griffin plus 3,300. Bo Hostler, Kevin Yu plus 3,500. Alex Smalley, Nicholas Norjegard, Jake Knapp, which is surprising Jake Knapp's so deep in this field, but who knows? Nikolai Højgaard, the brother of Rasmus, is plus 4,000. CT Pan is plus 5,000. Matt Wallace, Patrick Fishburne, and Thor Jorn Olsen. Olofsson.
Thobo.
Olofsson?
That's
Thorbjorn.
Thorbjorn.
There you go.
Thorbjorn.
Thorbjorn
Thor-
Olesen.
Thorbjorn Olsen.
Motherfucker Thobo.
Plus 5,500. So, guys, let's go over our picks this week. I'm going to start with you, Buttsy. Who you liking this week?
I'm gonna like obviously Nap is deep in my heart, but because we have the same golf swing mainly. But I'm gonna go with Bo Hostler.
Ooh.
I've been waiting for Bo to break through for a long time, and he's got it. He's got it. He almost won the Hero, and he is right there.
Wow. Brent, how about you? I got nothing else to say to that.
Well, I gotta
Zach
take,
Blair.
oh,
Trot,
shit.
Trot's got Zach Blair.
Oh my goodness. Let's
He's
see.
second alternate. He might not get into the
Um,
tournament.
I think Rogers probably gets it done. Just he's trending.
I think Patrick Rogers. Okay. Well,
Yep.
this is a Bombers golf course. This was one that Jake Knapp, for instance, circled on his calendar at one that he could absolutely compete at. And so I'm not going Jake Knapp. I'm actually going with Steven Jaeger. He's been trending in the right direction. He's been up there quite a bit. At the beginning of the year, he dealt with some pull hooks during the final round out in Hawaii. So I've got myself Steven Jaeger. I
Jaeger
think
bombs.
he
Fucking
bombs
Jaeger
it.
bombs.
He absolutely is a Jaeger bomber. Love that for him. And then we've got in our next topic, golfers that are on the decline. Good old LIV Golf, folks, which good old Buttsy watched the Adelaide. I did not. So we are getting into our favorite topic, which is LIV Golf, or the lack thereof, because I no longer watch the golf tournaments. I have a lot more time. And sure enough, I mean, Buttsy, why don't you go ahead and let us know how your Adelaide experience was, since nobody else watched?
It was fucking awesome. Probably rivals.
What day
wasted
did you
anything.
watch?
I watched all of it, every second of it, to be honest.
On the tape delay?
Yeah, I watched it all. I blocked out time over the weekend, and I sat on my belly on the ground with my phone like this, and
For some reason, I thought you were serious at first that you watched it. And I was just like, all right, well, let's get the intel here as to how good this golf
Yeah,
tournament
well,
was.
breaking character.
Now,
I
were
wasn't gonna watch. But
were
the
you
CEO,
arced on the
CEO
floor?
Liv came out, and he made it very clear that if you want to watch the best players in the world, you watch LIV Golf, and I took that right here to the chest, and I was like, damn, I didn't know that. So I locked in, I locked back in, I've given it another chance. and I thought it was one of the greatest events, just below the Hero, that I've probably ever seen in my life. So, the guy made a hole in one on the
guy. Which one? Which guy?
I forget who it was, but it was super sick. It was really cool. It was really cool.
You know what LIV Golf was that was really cool was the pumping in of audience noise. And I mean, LIV Golf, just fantastic stuff out of them.
I'd like to see them have that tournament here. But yeah, it was very entertaining. Lots of good golf being played out there. And I can't wait till next year, if there is a next year.
So it's funny, baiting the LIV Golf cult on Twitter especially, the one thing that they will absolutely lose their minds about is viewership numbers. I could care less about viewership numbers, okay? I am full of shit when all of a sudden I'm on Twitter and I'm bringing up, oh, the viewership is going down and this and this and this. It's like, but talk to people. Literally talk to people and see if they're watching LIV Golf. People that used to watch LIV Golf in years past. And in my experience, they're no longer watching. Buttsy, you're not watching. Brent, you're not watching.
I did watch, dude. I told you I watched.
Right. That's right.
All
You
of
did.
my friends were texting me about, what was going on out there as well.
You might be one of the best just trollers like in the game.
Why do you keep saying troll, dude? Like, I don't understand this. I don't look like a troll. Like,
actually, that bush behind you kind of makes you a little troll.
That's real.
That is real. Dude, I like the hair too, by the way. Sorry. Totally.
What's going on with the hair?
No, the hair looks great. It's in the back too. No, it's in the back. It's getting long.
Oh yeah, we're trying, man.
You're going for that little mullet?
Every time I, spend more than an hour watching LIV Tour, it grows a little. My growth hormone levels peak. And that's because I'm excited when that happens, and it's been proven, like, yeah, huge adrenaline rush. It's just a lot. So
during the broadcast, Tiger Woods brought up that we should soon be seeing the game coming back together.
Yes, unification, he did.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, LIV on their side, they just posted that they're going to be in Adelaide until 2031. So it's like this battle in the media as to what's going on or who's going to get who. And sure enough, Adam Scott had some comments about the whole thing as well. And he said, I wouldn't be surprised or I wouldn't judge anyone, the members, if reunification happened and they weren't happy with how it happened. So there's some talk going on that some players might lose some spots on the PGA Tour because of guys coming back over. And Adam Scott, by the way, is involved with these meetings and negotiations and so forth. So he's part of the negotiation committee, if I'm not wrong there. And then I hope they're not spending as much time talking about it as I have. I wouldn't hold it against anybody if there were negative emotions attached to it. The thought of players coming back. And then he was asked, is this the only path forward? And he goes, no, there are other paths. This is one way of moving forward. So if this happens, who do you guys want to see come back?
I don't know who's coming back, but I wouldn't put it past Tiger to see him play Adelaide next year, like if he's healthy.
Well, of course.
I mean, who wouldn't want to play Adelaide?
I mean, I think that's where the majority of PGA Tour events should be held, right there in Hero World.
I could see him probably being in the field there next year.
Yeah, of course. Shit. Yeah. Oh my goodness, I can't even keep a straight face. The problem, the amazing thing is if Bryson comes back, if Brooks comes back, if any of these guys that have played Asian or DP World come back in, I mean, you're going to see 5 to 10 players just get removed, and there's nothing anybody's really going to do about it because of where the money's going. And
I mean, they need Bryson back.
That's the way it is.
They need Bryson back.
I'd like to, but who would you guys want back? Like, I've got a list of guys. I would want to see Brooks back. I would want to see Bryson back. I'd want to see Joaquin Neiman come back. And probably. I'm disappointed that we've lost Cam Smith, but I think Cam Smith is done. I don't think he'll come back.
He's like enjoying his time. Lee Westwood return.
I can't I mean, the audience loves it though. They love Lee Westwood.
You asked a, you asked a question, and I'm just being honest. And like, I think he's a great player. I think he's sniffed so many major championships. He's basically like the modern day Greg Norman. And I don't think he's done yet. I think he's got a lot left in the bag. And if they don't bring him back, I think it'd be an absolute travesty. So, yeah, that's my answer to your question.
There you go. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of other play like Patrick Reed. Would the tour probably doesn't want him back? I would like to see him back. He's a good player. Like Patrick Reed. He's, by the way, the one that made the hole-in-one at Adelaide.
Oh, Reed is the best.
Well, literally, I mean, he's clearly the greatest player
One of the
of
most
all
honest
time,
players
and
that
you know, I
ever
mean,
played.
his integrity is just boundless, right?
It's unbelievable. And what a nice guy. Just
Well-
one of the best human beings on the face of the planet, Patrick
Yeah.
Reed is.
Sorry, babe.
He apologizes.
Oh, I thought we
his
were frozen. I didn't hear anything there. I thought we were froze up. I might shit the bed tonight.
Any of the Englishmen you'd want back? Ian Poulter. You said Lee Westwood.
Ian's another one, a world-class match player. Everybody knows that. Yeah,
Henrik
I think
Stenson.
Ian's up there.
Stenson you'd want back, you think?
I mean, Henrik Stenson is by far one of the most prolific European players of the last 20 years. So
yeah,
Bro,
I actually agree with that.
he's actually really, really good.
He's prolific.
How many guys do you think are just going to abs? Oh, Terrell Hatton. We forgot about good old madman himself, Terrell.
Terrell and only Terrell. Terrell's so fucking good at golf, dude. We're sitting here making all these, like, we're laughing about this shit.
Oh,
but, like,
Rom.
as
We forgot about Rom. Got to get Rom back.
As we start digging into this, we're going, holy shit, there's a lot of really good players on the LIV Tour.
I mean, but at the end of the day, right? The fact is these guys are going to be bumping out guys that made it in the top 100 after this year. And I mean, come on. I mean, like, you know, whomever, right? 95 to 100. They're not that good. You know, they just made $3 million. They're top 150 in the world. Whatever.
I knew Brent was going to have a big opinion on this one coming from his perspective, because imagine, Brent, that you were one of those guys that get pushed out after you had just gotten your card.
Yeah, I mean, so let's say one of these Korn Ferry Tour rookies gets it done and he, you know, does really, really well, which to get inside the top 100, by the way, you got to play really well. Like, there's not like, you can't just like place maybe second or third once and then miss a bunch of cuts. You got to do that a few times and then play consistently. Well, yeah, he can suck it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I mean, so you break through your top 20 in the Korn Ferry, and then you get top 100, which hardly any rookie has ever done over the last 5 to 10 years. And then you get told, you know what? Sorry. Later, dude.
Your spot's been given to Lee Bestwood.
Exactly. Lee Bestwood or Kevin Na. I mean, I think honestly they bring back Pat Perez. I mean, that's a clear top 25 player in the world. So, you know, they really should do that.
Brent, that's not your bag, babe.
Oh, God. You guys, dude, between the two of you, you guys crack me the fuck up, because you guys couldn't be more dead spot on. I mean, my God, just absolute analysis that is happening here. Austin says Hank can go back to the DP World Tour and work his way back. Wow, those are harsh words. But I will say this. I do not really love the fact that any of these guys are going to come back and take spots, right? That's the tough thing.
I don't think any of them trump Blades Brown being sponsor exempted into every event on the PGA Tour this year, though. He should have a spot in every event.
Brent Graham, sponsors exemption.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, I
We
mean,
gotta
at
work
least
on
I
it.
would have some sort of credentials as a professional. I mean, I got
Dude,
that
you
covered.
have status on the Korn Ferry Tour right now. That's what's wild about your mentality right now. Is
crazy.
that you have legit status. If you didn't absolutely come too early with some pre-com in your last event at Bogota with 2 double bogeys out the gate, I think you really could have done something there.
Wait, isn't that wouldn't that be considered shitting down
What
one's
did he
leg?
say?
I don't-
Or shitting down one's
I
leg.
think
I don't
that's
know the
considered
analogy.
shitting down one's leg.
Did he just
the-
say fucking pre-cum?
Yeah, I don't think that's not accurate.
He did.
Yeah, it came a little too early in that round.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Brett.
that makes me really uncomfortable. Okay.
I'm literally doing an equation out here, thinking how.
Yeah, you look like Russell Crowe in a fucking
Uh,
beautiful
just-
mind
I
right now.
mean,
Brent, here's the thing with Brent. We got to get Brent more reps. I mean, you were playing well too in Bogota.
Yeah. I mean, this shit happens. You know, you can hit a shitty shot, hit another one out of bounds. And that's all there is to it. It's just golf.
Did you hit one out of bounds? You didn't tell us that. You said you 4-putted.
No,
He said he hit it out.
Hit it out of bounds
Did
on
he?
the second hole. Yeah.
Yeah,
My bad.
it's all right. He said.
Oh, that's because I got so stuck on the 4-putt on the first.
Yeah.
Well, what you don't realize is I actually putted the first one off the green, which I found out that I was one
didn't
of
count?
4 players to
He
do
putted
that.
it out of bounds.
Putted it off the green, and then chipped it, and then 2-putted. It's a clear. Technically, it's a 1-putt then a 2-putt. So I mean that adds up to 3, not 4, but regardless, still adds up to a 6.
Dude, I love that for you.
That's
and
the
stats.
stat I want to know. Has anybody ever putted it out of bounds on the PGA Tour?
Yes, they have actually. Yeah, 100%.
St. Andrews, maybe.
No, I think so. A good buddy of mine growing up was Chi-Chi's nephew, and he was caddying for him back in the day. And there was a steep drop off on the right side of the screen. He literally putted it out of bounds and made an 8.
God, I would love to see AK like get some spots on tour. That'd be sick. He's fucking ready.
Oh, you saw Brian Shane's comment I put up there.
Oh, yeah.
Anthony Kim is coming to the PGA Tour as a marker.
What do you
Butsy's
mean, like
high
that?
on Anthony Kim.
What do you mean a marker? Like somebody's gonna put him in their golf bag, fucking right on their ball? What does that mean?
Yeah, what exactly is a marker?
It's
He's
a
gonna be-
playing person that's their score doesn't count, and they're there to keep the other guy's score.
Yeah, who's the guy at the Masters?
Oh.
Whenever
Yeah, he
there's
did it
not
for like
enough-
10 years. He was their
Who is
club
it?
champion. I don't remember his name, but he was their club champion, and he did it
I'm mad
for a
at
long
myself
time.
right
Yeah,
now.
he was pretty incredible, actually.
Does
No, hell of a
AK
player.
win a major this year?
I'm sorry, repeat that.
Is there? I'm trying to think if there's somebody else with the initials AK.
No, I'm gonna go with no, Alex, for 500.
I don't know.
Did this whole thing with the whole? I mean,
He qualify into the U.S. Open and get it done.
I don't know.
Are you guys frozen, or are we just not talking? I can't.
We're just not talking at the moment. I'm really
just
trying to digest
flabbergasted.
all of this.
I'm trying to
Trying to
I mean, just
understand,
take it
digest
in,
the
you know, I mean,
information.
really.
The
You
one thing
keep
I
doing
will.
that, and I'll sit here and keep throwing up chicken tacos in my mouth and pretending it's okay. So
I do like chicken tacos. Those are pretty good. One of the things that I will mention about LIV Golf is the fact that I kind of miss Greg Norman being at the helm of this thing. Like, I feel like he was the
God.
one that kept it together. This Scott O'Neill is trying to like be the Temu version of Greg Norman out there, and it doesn't work. He's
we
not a
need
golf
shirts
guy.
that say "Bring back Greg."
Bring back the shark.
Bring
Yeah,
back
Absolutely.
Big Greg.
Let's do it. Like that's
Yeah.
what we need in the golf world is Greg Norman. More of Greg
Mm.
Norman. Said nobody ever.
I
Yeah.
miss them, Brian. I really do, because I tell you what, the Twitter cult of these LIV cult guys. I mean, they were much stronger back
What are they
then.
saying?
Oh, they're just trying to do everything that. Here you go. I'll pull up one of them because there's been this clown on here trying to tweet at us. So Paul Hook's advice to LIV on how to increase viewership. And here was a comment on one of our Instagram posts from like 2 years ago. This clown decides that he's going to go on and go back into the archives and see what he can possibly find on Pole Hook Golf to back up his bots. And it's hilarious.
I mean,
Like, this
thanks
guy's
for the
done
free views, bud.
not only that, but they've gone in and like looked me up personally and like tried to come at me as
I
like
mean,
my career.
do they even
It's called
know who you
doxing is
are?
what it
I
is,
mean,
but
come on.
it's hilarious.
Weird. Very
It's
weird.
actually very strange that somebody would spend so much time.
Well, yeah,
On
I mean,
us
I guess
and
that's
me in
kind of the
particular.
thing. Yeah, I mean, how much time are we really talking about here? I mean, there's hundreds of episodes, and they're, I mean, that just, yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, they should definitely do some research on verified podcast listeners. So
Yeah, we can't afford fake listeners either. I don't think. I don't think that's in the budget. I don't think
that's the best part.
I don't
It's
think
like,
we
oh
can
yeah, we're just throwing money at this thing.
How do you?
It's
I
the
don't even know
best.
how you do that, but yeah. All right.
Oh, but fantastic stuff from and here he is again, this clown, typical. He's got 24 followers, by the way. So clearly very angry. We did something to this poor guy. Apparently I did something to this poor guy for him to spend hours and hours and hours trying to do research. I don't know what I did to this poor guy.
Well, I think we
But
got
I
to
feel
get away
bad for him.
from
I
that.
actually, here's the thing. In all due respect, I do feel bad for him because clearly something is not right to spend that much time trying to hate on somebody.
Yeah, I don't know. What's what do we got up
Here,
next?
this is the greatest advice anybody could ever give another golfer. Hit the range, go practice, work on your craft, and if you get good enough, then maybe your opinion will matter. Period.
Is that AI generated?
He might have used ChatGPT there. To piggyback off of Brent's brilliant comment there is that's the problem with the LIV cult. They're not golfers. They're literally like brand new golfers or claim to be brand new golfers, and they suck. They're terrible. So I challenged one of them. I was like, hey, come on out. Haven't picked up a golf club since November. We'll play $1,000 a hole. They absolutely choked their face off when it came to trying to come back from that. They're like, I'll challenge you in baseball.
These
It's
guys
like,
need to
oh.
play a real sport like paintball. Okay, that is the toughest sport. That is so much harder than golf, on so many levels. And like, go give that a whirl if you really want to get into it. Okay, paintball is the hardest sport in the world.
So Trot Golfer wants to know. So Trot, I run a podcast agency, and it's completely separate from Pull Hook Golf. They've tried to pull this all together and start to claim that business is a scam and everything. That's actually pretty much the scum of the earth type of stuff. So these guys, especially this account on Twitter, but good luck. Good luck. That's all I can tell you.
Here's the thing. You can't scam real businesses.
No. And the funny thing is, business has been around for 7 years.
If you don't deliver results, people don't fuck with you.
Exactly.
And you don't have clientele. And even if you get away with it for, a couple folks, there's an end there. So for 7 years, yeah, you're definitely doing something right.
You want to know the best? And this goes back to this guy just being an absolute psychopath. He found one Reddit thread of the business. The business has been around for 7 years. There's one Reddit thread. And it's literally people that didn't do business with the company that were upset that, and it wasn't even the podcast side, it was the book publishing side of the business, that we would actually charge to publish somebody's book.
You publish books?
Oh, yeah.
I want to talk to you about doing a cookbook.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm dead ass serious about that. So, anyways, next topic.
Yeah. Move on from this clown because.
Yeah, whatever. Like, that's just stupid. So, yeah, fuck that.
Which, again, I apologize to absolutely fucking nobody. Let's fucking go.
Whew, God.
Guys, what do you want to talk about now? We're through the LIV Golf portion of the show. I mean, one of the greatest parts that has been going on as we've been talking about this is Kyle over at Cart Barn Guys keeps bringing up players. Harold Farner, Paul Casey, Abe Hanser, Brendan Steele.
I could just picture Kyle sitting right
Danny
now.
Lee.
And just like, yeah.
Dude, it's the absolute best.
I mean, he was fine until he said Danny Lee, but that's fine.
Danny
All of
Lee
those
is
guys.
one of the
Dan-
best
Hang
players.
on. Matt Jones. Don't
I
forget
mean,
Matt
he's
Jones.
past his prime. I love Jonesy, but yeah, past his prime. But no, think about it, right? That's what was amazing about the beginning of LIV was that all of these guys went over there, and so many of them went so quickly that we just kind of got lost in translation of who was actually playing. And then all of a sudden it just was like, well, Brooks went and Dustin went and Bryson went. And then obviously Bryson took over the entire internet world over the last three years. And so Bryson's really the only guy that they think about as far as LIV Golf is concerned. But I mean, the real question is are any of these guys going to be capable
Gooch is a
of the
fucking
same level
stud.
of play? Yeah. Again, I think only a few
Misspelled,
of
by the
them.
way. Misspelled.
No,
You got to
there
remove
you
the
go.
Y.
Yep. There you go.
It's TALLR.
Come on, Kyle. You know better than that.
It's Tyler.
Tyler Gooch.
Tyler Gooch. I sold one of his cards for like $120. It was
Good
nice.
old Louis Oosthuizen.
Yeah, Oost is good.
Brian,
Got
why is
fucking
nobody
got his-
talking about Ian?
got
I
his
brought up
dick
Ian Poulter.
slammed in
Yeah,
by
we
Tiger.
said the Poltz, the chest beater himself.
So again, I'm gonna hang on. I'm gonna
Okay.
back up a little bit here and go back to the LIV. I will say this: there's a lot of fucking good players over on LIV. There really are. Like there really is a ton of good fucking players that would still actively be on the PGA Tour, and they would not be working at a hardware store today if LIV never came to fruition. Most of those guys would still be on tour playing in all of these big events. That's fact.
I don't know if that's fact.
I don't know all
There's
about
There's a
all
top
of
tier.
them,
There's
but
a
there
top
are
tier of
certainly
LIV of people that
majority.
were important that kind of moved the needle, and then there's kind of everybody else. There is a lower tier to LIV Golf.
Nope.
Brian Shane wants to know if you've been. He sure has. He's been on the wine tonight.
What gave it away?
He's been on the wine.
Now I got this fucking.
Do you have
I
a
thought
Guinness?
this was like.
It's an
no, it's not a
805.
Guinness. It's not a Guinness. It's 805 Pale Ale, but it tastes like just a nice golden fucking can of Jesus right here.
I love Guinness in a can, by the way, with a little ping pong ball. You ever have that?
You would.
Yeah.
I could see that with you.
Yeah.
You're a Guinness guy.
I am a Guinness guy. In New York City, it's all I would drink
like all
outside
the hard
of
shit.
whiskey and scotch.
You probably only smoke cigars at weddings. It's all right.
Yeah, that's accurate. Buttsy knows me.
That's
yeah.
that's well done.
know the
That
deal.
was top tier, top shelf.
Louis was in the
Top
mix a
shelf.
lot on tour.
Mito Pereira, the one-time PGA almost champion.
Basically,
Which,
Tiger.
So that
if you-
that tournament is considered blowing your load early. What he did is
What do you
considered
do?
blowing your
Oh,
load. Well, he
no,
literally got
that's
to the
blowing your load
14th hole.
late.
No, he blew it too early and couldn't finish. I
It
mean,
was
that's-
on
that's just
18.
all
Well,
it
I
is.
guess you
I mean,
might
come
be
on,
onto
that's
something
what it
here.
is.
Yeah. All right, I was wrong. You were right. Got no problem being wrong.
I don't know why this permanent weird ass look comes over me. It just starts happening. and it
Sebastian
just-
Munoz, that's a lab pot guy.
What's funny is several LIV guys live in Florida, global players. I mean,
Lot
There's-
of them do.
There are a ton that live in Scottsdale, Florida,
Yeah, I
Dallas. I mean, they see all of their former peers that play on the PGA Tour all the time. It's not like it's
I mean,
almost
where are
like
they-
politics at this point. They
where
just
are they supposed to live to be considered a global player, though? Like
Oh, Jesus.
Shanghai? I mean,
Come on.
what-
No, I think that's the whole live push though, that these guys are all internationals and they're all traveling along together now and all that good stuff.
Well, I think it's their origin country, right, that matters. I don't know.
Yeah, I said it from the beginning. I think LIV really failed when they didn't do they didn't have a territory attached to a team name.
Yeah,
People
you're right
can't
about
get
that.
behind those teams. And it doesn't matter. Like the TGL's proving that you don't need to have players from that area. It's like in every other major sport, you get behind your local club and every player's coming from a different area of the country or internationally. Like it doesn't matter. Look at the Dallas Mavericks that lost Luka Doncic. That fan base was absolutely destroyed by that.
They gave
Yeah.
away. They gave him away. They didn't lose. They gave.
They
him,
didn't
but
give him away.
gave
I
him
mean, what's his face is a pretty damn good basketball
They made
player.
quite possibly one of the worst trades.
Yeah. Oh, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I can't
Unbelievable.
sit there and defend that
Yeah.
trade.
One
but
of my good buddies is his shooting coach, and I just texted him a question mark, and he went,
I think everybody was stunned over that entire thing. It seems like it was a little bitter around everything, but they should definitely have
Yeah.
locations. And I think that's one of the
Yeah, for
things
sure.
that the TGL's doing right. The Grass League is doing it right. And again, the Grass League, even like the Minnesota Muskies, not everybody's from Minnesota. Like, you're going to represent that area, though, with the players that are going to be on the given teams.
Let me ask you this, Matt. Do you think it's possible for a little person to make it on tour? Do you think we'll ever see that in our lifetime?
You know, I don't know if they can move the golf ball that far. I mean, we've got
I'm
Rory
wondering.
McIlroy, who tends to be a little bit on the shorter side,
No, I'm
but
talking
you know,
like
he can move it.
bow legs, like the real deal, like a real little person. You think they can? You think that we'll see that?
I mean, maybe.
Yeah, there's that guy on Instagram I follow. And this is what I'm saying. He hits like 275, which is plenty. I mean, it's plenty.
That's not plenty on the PGA Tour. That's not going to get you a win.
He's longer than Corey Pavin, like for sure.
Dude, golf courses have been lengthened since Corey Pavin.
Okay, yeah, maybe they let him play up a box, but like he's pretty good, dude. Like, I don't know if you guys follow this guy. I'm gonna find his tag. I'd literally get stuck on his page for hours just watching his mechanics, and I'm like, how does he do it? Because his ball speed is like 1 mile an hour less than mine, and it's not saying much, but it's impressive stuff.
I will say this. I mean, miracles happen every day.
Yeah.
With human beings. And so who's to say that somebody can't do something? I am
Right.
not going to be the one to sit there and tell that person that they're not going to, that there's no chance. Anti-Live says, how can anyone else locally even see live players with excessive international travel to remote locations? This was one that I kind of got into with some people around the TV viewership, because if you look at, for instance, Mexico with Mayakoba, that used to open up the year. 2023, 2024, TV viewerships were decent. They were in the 400,000 range. Okay. Now you've got Riyadh, which in the final round, I want to say it did, and don't quote me on this because I don't have the exact numbers, but I think it did around like 30,000, 40,000 maybe viewers.
Okay.
And on Fox.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the interesting thing. I mean, you've been in media obviously for a long time. I mean, is it because of all of these issues? I mean, they're just easy holes to poke in the argument that Live is somehow a success. And I just, from the beginning, it sort of felt like a they were kind of taking advantage of the controversy. And then unfortunately, the PGA Tour did what it did to fuel that fire.
But you would have played there.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, there's no way.
That's why, from a player perspective, I don't take this out on the players whatsoever.
Absolutely.
Like, I would have taken the money, no doubt about it.
Any of the guys that said that they were growing the game or whatnot, I thought was kind of
it was bullshit.
And I mean, Harold Varner, Bryson DeChambeau, there were a couple of guys that said flat out it was a business decision.
Yeah, DJ was one of those guys, I believe.
Like, this is ridiculous. So, and there's something to be said about what Bryson's doing and what Harold has done in his community.
Let me stop you there, though, right? Like, Liv did unlock Bryson's ability to forge a path that we haven't seen yet. And,
to YouTube.
Yes. And
that's a good point.
And that never, ever happens. The tour money, like none of this shit happens without that, redheaded stepchild, so to speak. But so there's a lot of good that's come from it, but the product, we could say the product itself at this point might be a little lacking.
Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree.
It doesn't have the US market.
Come out of it.
The Live cult, like a lot of the Live cult, is based out of international areas.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean, that they're an international tour. I mean, I'm sorry, but they just happen to play a few events in the US. I mean, the entirety of the deal was that it was a lot of international players. And unfortunately for them, I mean, in their local communities, it's funny, we talk about, well, how about these guys from Jupiter or Jax or Dallas or Scottsdale? They didn't get anywhere near the amount of crap like a Henrik Stenson did. I mean, the guy has restaurants and golf courses that he's opened that have literally had to take his name off of their deed or off of the land or whatever, off of the business. Graham McDowell. Yeah, Graham McDowell. Well, he has his Nona. He has his Nona bar and a couple of them in Jackson. He's done okay, but I mean, he was basing his entire thing off the fact that he hits at 260 yards in the air and was kind of done with tour golf anyways. So
Yeah.
Not long enough to compete.
no,
Great
and
guy,
he,
though.
and he said that. No, phenomenal, super nice guy, and a U.S. Open champion, which is something that 99.999% of professional golfers never even sniff. So,
Is Jason Duffner still a thing?
so he used his exemption.
Switch
His
gears. I just
no, he used his one-time full exemption last year from his money list. When you're top 50 and you fall off, you get 1 year. Something that Kevin Kistner's doing this year. But yeah, I mean, he's the first time I ever met Jason. It was at Napa, and we sat down for lunch, and it was actually with Denny and a couple other guys.
And he was like, "Why are you gay?"
No, yeah. Why are you gay? Who says I'm gay? That's good shit. But he literally said, don't win.
He was trying to tell a really good story.
Don't
Just
win.
fully interrupted with a
Sorry,
slur.
it was just a great opportunity. Sorry. Go on.
He says to me and everybody else at the table, he literally
Oh.
says, don't win a major, and especially don't win the PGA Championship. It will ruin your life. That's
Really?
Jason Duffner. That's literally what he said.
The PGA Championship will ruin your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I
Or
would take a
don't marry
PGA
don't marry
Championship.
that one chick that, you know.
Oh,
literally
well,
ran
that's,
through the
yeah, I
entire
mean,
PGA Tour.
when you look in the mirror and you see yourself, and then you're with a chick that look like that,
Yeah. Well, and what she was doing. I mean, the stories
you
were
gotta know.
endless. Those locker room conversations could not have been very comfortable for him.
Let alone those PGA Tour parties that were going on.
Yeah, those parties. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough environment out there, man. And I'm hoping some of these guys have some sort of resurgence, but I think there's only going to be 5, maybe 6 guys that actually can hack it on the PGA Tour anymore from the league.
Brent, question for you, man. So there's rumors around, after you miss a cut on a Friday on the PGA Tour, did you visit any of these parties?
Nope.
Wow.
No, Brent's a fucking
on a roll like that.
walk to it.
See, he would have gotten the invite to a P. Diddy party. He would not have gone.
No. I've seen what Brent's capable of after hours, and it's really good that he didn't do that. I've seen it.
Specifically at Old Town Scottsdale. Yeah.
It's a tough
Good
environment.
old town.
Really tough environment. Yeah.
Yep.
God, I had a point that I was going to make. Probably not.
Sorry
important.
about that.
Yeah. No, it wasn't important. God, it was good though. Keep going. I think it'll come back.
Does speaking of Paige, how many of these OnlyFan, because they're legit golfers, obviously, that these, and Buttsy, you saw them at that Instagram influencer, some of those girls are legit, professionals out there that are, able to really market their abilities on the golf course. I mean, they probably will take over the grass league, won't they? I mean, they have to.
What?
It's just only a matter of time. Women like Paige. I mean, she's one of the best pros in the world.
Poor Brent. Brent's trying. He's trying a delivery that is similar to yours, Buttsy.
Yeah, no, I know. That's what I was telling him.
Butsy's not fucking feeding into
He
it.
is not feeding into it at all. He's not helping you out at all. He's shutting this down. He's like, you are not taking my role.
No, I didn't even know, though. I didn't even know. You gotta.
That's how good it is. The sarcasm is just so elite.
It was so dry and
so
so
dry.
factual
Well, it's
that
dumb.
you missed
It's
it.
like, that's not even,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Hero World Challenge. Great golf course. Just great course.
Oh, God.
We already know that. Well, that's a mute point. But what you were saying is the influencer chicks are taking over the grass league. That's
They have to.
Yeah, why the grass league? Why are you throwing in the grass
Well,
league?
because we said there's going to be an all-woman
No,
team
I
that plays.
said this could be the first time we see an all-female team.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that's
taking
what they
on
should do.
men in a golf tournament that isn't just like mixed gender or anything like that.
No. I really think they'll probably win every tournament. Honestly,
what's that chick, Haley? She no the one
sure.
that's not allowed to play anymore. No, not that Haley. The other one.
The big one.
She might be out there. Yeah, because they don't have those rules. I don't think so. We'll see.
Brian, that's beautifully said, sir. Beautifully said, Brian. Brian,
I love when we get to this part of the show because I always know where to cut when the podcast episode comes out.
I was just thinking that. I was like, this is where this gets fucking cut off.
Right there.
This is where always I'm like, yep, there's the cut.
No, not Haley Ostrom, the other Haley, the one that's not allowed to play anymore.
Oh, you're talking about the
guy?
No. The birth certificate that was a male.
I didn't say that. I said she's just not allowed to play on the LPGA Tour anymore, and this could be a good outlet for her going forward.
Okay.
Very talented. Very talented.
Wow.
Good player.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I could see her being out there, and dude, who knows? Like, it's $1,200 to try to qualify for the grass league as a team,
$600
right?
a person.
She doesn't even need a
so-
teammate. She could just go out there by herself.
I think this thing has gotten big enough where there's probably dudes from all over the country with money to spend and the time to spare. It's going to be interesting to see who ends up out there and how they're going to market them and what we're going to call these players.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
I'm not acknowledging that comment.
Don't need to. Don't even need to.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Man, we have digressed. We have digressed so
No,
hard.
I don't think so.
It used to be in my vocabulary on this show back in the day when Mikey Perez was the co-host. I used to actually say at least 13 times a show, man, we have digressed. Let's get back on track.
Is Ludwig the modern day Adam Scott?
No, but Brendan Grace is. Or Brandon Grace.
Brandon
Grace.
It's
That like
Brendan.
Brendan's brother?
Brendan.
It's
Yeah,
Brendan.
Kyle's not.
Kyle
much
is not very good with the
spelling.
Kyle's
spelling
cat
right
is
now.
the one that's typing.
That's okay. God, I can't imagine Kyle filling out like a government form.
But we digress.
Oh, we're digressing. So
Well, we
hard.
technically went through the whole podcast already, so really.
Oh yeah, we're done. I mean,
riffing.
this is
We're
it.
just
This
riffing.
is, this is where we just talk absolute shite for
Look,
the next 15,
Is
20
he
minutes.
the most handsome player out there today? Is he
Not
the new
even
Adam
close.
Scott?
They're saying he's the new Adam Scott. A lot of people are.
No,
You got
absolutely
Kashmir over there, right? He's holding
Yeah.
the throne.
Kashmir Keith.
You got Ludwig. Everything looks good on him. We've seen that come across Instagram, right? Everybody's saying his clothes look great. He's got a great golf swing. What is so funny about that?
Okay. Wow.
Same horse filed?
Oh god.
Can we not put up any more comments?
Tom McKibben.
Oh,
The funny thing is, I don't even know if that's spelled right. That might be spelled correctly.
Tom McKibben.
That's that Irish kid that spurned fucking Rory McIlroy. He's like, hey, Rory, go fuck yourself for being my mentor. I'm going to live.
yeah, exactly.
Can you imagine Kyle out at Waste Management asking for autographs from these guys? Tom McKibben. I love you.
Caleb Surratt. I actually know a guy that almost took his bag. Was going to make the switch from the PGA Tour over to LIV and decided against it.
Decided against it. So what happens with those guys? So let's say the deal's done and what? So they're gonna continue to play on the LIV Tour. These athletes that decided, you know what? I'm done with college. I'm just gonna go take a paycheck. So what? Are they
You know
gonna
what?
be they
That
gotta
might
go
be
back
the
to free fall?
unification. So, by the way,
we need to cover the LIV.
LIV Hong Kong.
We need to cover it.
Home.
You need to, you owe it to the viewers. You got to cover it until it's dead completely.
Anti-LIV. Here's the thing, man. You got to stop calling them LIV stands. They're LIV cult. They're a literal cult. Like they're kind of like, the I'm not even going to get into religions right now, but there's a few religions that are very, very cult-like, and they are on the extreme side when it comes to they would rival some religions out there.
I think they take the top. I think
They could.
take the
I mean,
top spot.
they literally suck on the teat
Well,
of the
what's
PIF
incredible-
Magic
what-
Dragon.
Like what what is in it for them, right? Like some of these guys that don't ever trash talk the PGA Tour because they wanna get those media spots, they want to be able to, you know, get some YouTube money or whatever. But there's nothing in it for these guys to be so hard on for the LIV Tour. There's nothing in it.
So
Yang. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Buttsy, I gotta hear you say it. I gotta hear you say it because you pronunciate this one so good.
Yeah, you've been Jang.
You've been Jang.
Yeah,
You've been Jang.
One of my favorites out there, man. Maverick McSquealy.
Oh, by the way, guys, we should have the Korean dub shortly.
Really?
Yeah, of the show.
Seriously?
Oh, darn. I'll start practicing now.
Yoben Jang.
Yoben Jang.
Yoben Yang. Okay, Juben Yang. So
Yuben
we've got
Yang.
we're losing track. We got asked about Live Hong Kong. We can't cover it anymore. I don't follow it, but
I just don't.
Can you imagine Kyle at like his 3rd grade spelling bee, and they were like, first word, cat. He's like K-A-G-H-T. Cat. Yeah. You're in the right class. We're gonna go ahead and reward you anyways. Good job. Give him a treat. Give him a treat.
Frederick Jetterup.
Oh shit. Oh fuck. That's awesome.
Oh man.
Well done.
I do like ketchup.
But Matt, I mean, have you seen some sort of reason other than the fact that they just have more time on their hands than anybody else? I mean, these
the cultists.
Yeah, I mean,
I was about to get into this. Thank you for reminding me. So it's funny because we actually know one of them, and they got approached.
I'm very upset
to start posting at a local event where a LIV Golf team was, and sure enough, now they're on the payroll. So we know, and that's the funny thing is because this goes back to, gosh, when was this? Almost a year and a half ago, I was speaking with a PGA Tour player that was telling me that Jay Monahan and co. had proof that PIF was paying these social media accounts in order to kind of spread LIV Golf propaganda. Ooh, and so they were familiar with it. They didn't want to go to that level and go to that kind of scummy level of fake kind of paying.
Well, but they did. I mean, they did make a false ad on Golf Channel and news about,
Oh, trust me, they went a different route with the entire thing. LIV went kind of with the social media side. They kind of went with a political route through the media, which is very PGA Tour, right? Yeah. But the whole thing is that now you got all these guys that are getting paid. And you see the switch immediately, too, as soon as they do. And by the way, they get sent information. They have this little group chat that goes on to where they get information on people. So, for instance, how did they end up getting some personal information about me and the work that I do? Guess what? They all passed it around. So that's been a pretty interesting thing to find out and see. So, and by the way, why do they keep coming at us about bots? Because they're very familiar with bots and they purchase a lot of bots. Like I challenged a couple of them to go ahead and post your audience demographics for countries, for likes and reposts on Twitter. I already did. I already showed. And so sure enough, they won't. They absolutely will not do it. And by the way, one of them posted their following. And sure enough, there was a percentage of India and 7% other. So clearly very big LIV supporters over there in India.
What was that noise?
Was that a goddamn rooster?
You got a bird in your house?
Some sort of dog-like creature, sounds like.
Wow. So yes, Brent, to answer your question, there is the LIV cult, at least the majority of them. And if you're not getting paid by LIV, by the way, and you're one of these culters, you fucking failed.
Well, that's
I
I mean, are they just bots that are going after you? I mean, we've seen that in the political realm with I mean, literally.
There's
I mean,
a
I think
few
the
that
numbers like
I do
80%
believe are
on Twitter,
bots.
right? That
Yeah.
is possible that are literally bots. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's incredible that that the second largest fund in the world, these people make, you know, millions of dollars a day just on interest, are resorting to tactics that ultimately just show that it was a flash in the pan. And all props to the players going to get that bag. I get it. I'm all for it. I'd have done it. But
Oh, I think it's here to stay.
well, it certainly is, but nowhere near what it looks like now. I think all of these
I
guys
don't
that
know.
didn't have tour status, all the guys that didn't have tour status, I think are going to be gone unless they've proven otherwise.
You know what
there's-
did hit me though? This is quite interesting. What if in one of the
Be right
deals,
back.
because remember, they have 4 agreed upon deals that could possibly go through.
Mhm.
What if LIV does not come underneath the PGA Tour Enterprises umbrella? Because there's 2 deals that I am not aware of, that I do not know the details for. So what if LIV does not come under the PGA Tour Enterprises umbrella because of legality, right? Because of the Department of Justice and so forth.
Antitrust.
All the top players end up coming back over to the PGA Tour. And then you have everybody else at LIV Golf, right? However, do they just let it ride off into the sunset? Do they keep it as this like mini tour team deal to where these guys are just not going to get paid the big bucks like the big names would? Because the PGA Tour has been pretty clear. Jay Monahan and co have been saying, and Tiger said it over the weekend, there's unification coming.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. And I think what ends up happening is like, just like with any good business decision, they look at kind of a cost analysis, and they would look at the LIV Tour minus some of these names that we've mentioned. And they're just going to be like, well, we can get Rory and Scotty and all these other guys, and just go ahead and have our international series, and it'd be far less expensive than keeping the LIV Tour alive. That's for sure.
How
It's going to be
crazy is it
interesting.
that you don't have to be a professional golfer anymore. You can now make the money and receive the media accolades of the top 20 in the world. And you can do that without ever stepping foot on a PGA Tour golf course.
YouTube
Being
golf.
a professional in general. I mean, think about
That's a good point.
I think it was
You can
just
officially
recently.
achieve that. That's
Yeah.
been shown.
Oh, they make more money than 90%.
That's
of
why I
the
said the
players.
top 20.
Yeah,
Do you think there will be a podcast solely focused on YouTube golf? There might already be.
Oh, I'm sure it's already happening. I mean, somebody's got to be ahead of that. Like
They're
the
like,
players,
on
those
today's
guys
analysis,
themselves.
we're going to talk about good, and that,
I saw
that
that.
nice cut that ended up,
Well,
he made that putt.
It would be hard to do an analysis on the performance of their golf games. You would get more into the analytics and the performance of like their posts and like what they put up and how it performed. And wow, look what they did at this tournament, and they had a shot that almost went in the hole, and it was crazy. People went nuts over it. Like you might get some sort of coverage like that, in the future. But
Pure
it's
analytical. Yeah.
fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah, I saw those guys at TPC Scottsdale early last week, and I sort of drove by really slowly because they all have bags and head covers, and everybody's wearing their own thing, and they got cameras out there, and I watched them hit a few putts, and I just was like, yeah, I would want to see that. Yeah,
Here's what remains to be
that's
seen
amazing.
now. Kyle could speak to this too. Like he's been there since the inception of this, right? Like the dude was posting sunset photos before Instagram ever had a video feature. Before anybody was posting YouTube golf, Kyle's been there, and then I came along and was hanging out with Kyle, and so I've gotten to see kind of the evolution of this, and I don't know if it's sustainable. Like, do you run out? Does this become? Do so many people start doing the same thing? Because how do you diversify? Like, how do you diversify? You're gonna go film yourself playing golf, and it's relatable because you're like the other hacks that are watching you play, and you're funny, and you're drinking, and and you got different personalities. Is it just we just buy into more new personalities that do the same shit over and over, and they get big, and then you see 100,000 of these guys at some point? Like,
I think so.
yeah, But
Yeah,
I do.
I think everybody's got their run. I mean, the days of when it gets pretty obvious that the cuts, like you said, and the editing is kind of where these guys are. I mean, they've got, you know, a dozen or so people running over each and every minute of every single you know, video to make sure that it's perfect. I mean, it's how Mr. Beast has been able to do what he's done.
here's the prophecy.
Hang
Here's
on,
what
hang on. I got to get to this first though. I've seen this. Buttsy, do you know how many claws it takes you to get to where you get into
13.
the flow state?
13.
I would say that there's a lot of variables involved in that. That could be like, are we on day 2? Like, did we
Day
play
1.
Saturday?
Just Saturday. We're playing Saturday.
Yeah,
How many
so
claws?
just hey, you started drinking Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're fresh as can be. You've been good. Like, yeah, no previous partying leading up to it. I would say good sleep.
Good sleep?
13.
Like, no,
No, not that many.
9 or 10,
Oh,
maybe
okay.
9, 8 to 9.
And then I'll say that if you were to go the following day after a day of drinking, it'd probably be
Double
about
that.
6.
No, I would say double that. Yeah, because now you got to overcome.
Oh, we're
a
doubling.
whole-
Wow.
Yeah, well, you have to overcome a hangover, and then it takes double as long to get back to where you were. Then you pay for it twice as bad. I don't do that these days, but on a Saturday, if I'm going out to have fun, I would say 9 to 10 is a pretty sweet spot, as long as there's no hard alcohol, which I've kind of abstained from these days because, again, I'm just getting old. It fucking hurts the next day. So 9 to 10 claws puts me right in that spot where I could give a shit less about what I'm doing with my golf swing. And I look down there and I want to curl one down there like this. And it just fucking happens.
Yeah,
It's fucking
I've seen it.
weird.
We've all seen it.
Yeah.
It's-
I mean, you get into that flow state and
I
it
mean,
is
here-
dangerous for Buttsy.
Here's
It's
a question.
dangerous because it's hard to do it sober, right? Like,
Yeah.
because you kind of have
Well-
the same expectation and you just don't get there mentally. It's hard to shut your brain off.
So remember when I wasn't drinking for like 4 months?
Yeah.
And I had a very tough time getting into that flow state.
Well, yeah.
Buttsy saw it.
Well, your nervous system. I mean, think about the kind of just the little bit of dulling of the senses enough to where you're not,
God, that's so
super
true.
anxiety full. I mean, it happens
That's
all
why
the
I'm a
time.
mini tour dropout, Brent.
That's why
I've
John
said it
Daly is
like
so great. Though.
1,000
So
times.
it can
Handle
go
it.
it can go both ways.
I couldn't
There's,
handle it.
There is an area where motor function is still perfect,
Yes.
but the brain shuts off, and
Yes.
there's like this little gap there where the brain's done, but the body's still working, and you're
Yeah.
not slow.
It's right
It-
before
It's called the
blurry
Gaussian
vision.
distribution.
Right.
You just
before the
hope
blurry
that you
vision.
you just hope that you can maintain that for a 3 or 4 hour period. That's the
Agreed.
tough part.
All right.
Usually it ends up being like this weird peak where you start out on 1, by 6 you're hot, by 14 you're absolutely fucking gone.
I think everybody's seen it.
Everybody's
That has played golf with Buttsy. They've seen it at least once.
absolutely.
Not proud
Absolutely.
of that, but it's a real thing. It's an
How
actual
many
thing.
people could take Buttsy on doing
Zero.
claw for claw
Zero.
and beating Buttsy for 18 holes?
Zero.
I mean,
That's a challenge worth
Zero.
worth doing.
if you're gonna do YouTube content, that's what we should do.
Buttsy,
Well,
I'm telling you right now.
Okay, so
You and
that was my
I,
question.
We'll go out there. We'll do this. We'll go claw for claw.
I don't
and we'll see who
necessarily
wins.
want to fucking do that though. That's toxic, bro. It's not good for
We're
you.
gonna be hurt. Our livers are gonna be
Hurting.
shot the next day.
Hurting.
not
You're gonna
good
have
for you.
back pain. It's not gonna be good.
I would commit to that once a month these days. Every weekend, no, can't do it. Too old.
No.
I don't
No.
like feeling like shit. I really don't. And yeah,
We're getting too old now.
yeah,
And it
for sure.
hurts. It hurts more than when we were Brent's age.
Even
when
a
we were
fucking
Brent's age.
couple glasses of wine and a beer tonight. Like, I mean, that's gonna suck a little bit. So
Dude, usually if I have a glass, you would have seen it tonight. I had just a tiny bit tonight. That was neat because one, I'm running out. And then two is that I did not like, every once in a while when I do the full glass, I am not feeling the greatest the next day.
no, you have to shrug it. There might be an
Yeah.
hour. It's not like you went out and blasted yourself for a weekend, but it's definitely fuck, a little
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Little
for sure.
something.
And then I got
Brent
to
knows.
bait. Then I got to bait and switch, because that's what they say I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
and then you got the
again-
weed guys out there like, just smoke. And it's like,
No.
okay. Yeah.
No.
All right.
Yeah, just get high.
Smoke, dude. Like you'll be fine. Like no, that leads to an entirely different satanic level of anxiety. Exact opposite of everything that.
Why is it though that every once in a while you just run into it on the golf course and you're just like, all right, one hit? No, not good.
I stopped doing that about 5 years ago. I can't do it.
I was there when he stopped. I was there.
Did you feel like you were going to have a heart attack or an anxiety
every
attack?
time? Every time.
We literally had to
that hit me
resuscitate him.
too.
I gave it the legitimate try, so I'm gonna try. No, not mine. Not
good.
Not very good.
Not good.
So yeah.
Well, guys,
All
I
right,
think
boys.
we exhausted all of the topics tonight.
All of our drinks too. I'm out.
Yeah,
Dude,
I'm
I've been
out,
out for like 20 minutes. It's been depressing.
Oh
Yeah, I
man.
finished my cup of coffee, which is just devastating.
We're proud
water.
of you for
I'm in
drinking coffee.
Well, mushroom coffee, that layered superfood, bro.
Oh,
I'm gonna go turn on some quantum reality shit on YouTube. Probably watch that till I go to bed, and get a little smarter in my sleep.
Beautiful.
I will say one last thing here.
Yeah, say it.
Before we sign off, little shout out and little advice to our audience. Go to Devreux Golf. That's DEVREUX golf.com. Utilize the promo code PullHookGolf20 at checkout for 20% off your entire order at DevreuxGolf.com. Also want to thank our sponsors with Johnny Walker. And man, what a great partnership we have with all of them.
What happened to Magic Mind?
Oh, Jesus. Brent.
Read
Advertisers.
the room.
I thought we cut the podcast off already.
No, I have to do an outro. Now I got to do the outro again, you jackass. Now we got to go through the whole thing all over again. We got to go through the fucking promo read again. Got to go through everything again because you dumbass.
Sorry, I had to get. I had to throw something.
Magic
back.
Mind ran a January campaign with us. A January campaign. Brent, what month are we in?
I don't know anymore.
We're in February.
My name's Jay.
It's all a simulation anyway. So
Hey, we
All
got
right,
speedball Friday night, huh?
oh fucking yes.
Dude, you guys, so Trot was all over it. He was like, I saw him comment on one of your posts, Buttsy. He's like, where's Matt? Why isn't Matt playing paintball with you
He's
guys?
not allowed.
My
Matt had
sister came
family
into
time.
town. That's what happened. She came in from Connecticut, decided to see my two nephews and her over the weekend. And
Sounds
I
like a
bailed on
very
paintball,
manufactured
which
alibi.
I'm also going to put it this way. I saw a few of your clips, okay?
Mhm.
And I realized very quickly that I would probably pull both of my hamstrings and I would be in pain for probably a month.
Come on.
For the first go, but
First
then
day, yeah.
you get stronger.
Some stretching.
No, because I would go into fight or flight mode and I would just start sprinting and like diving. And
That
I know what
happens.
you guys go through. It's an adrenaline rush.
Yes.
Oh yes,
Is the
it
best.
is the adrenaline rush. I'm addicted.
Yes.
That would be a problem for me because I get very competitive. And if I get an adrenaline rush in the process, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, you're gonna be in bed later hurting, but goddamn, is it so
Totally
much
worth
Yeah,
it.
my hamstrings are going to be black and blue because they ripped off of my fucking legs.
off the bone.
Yeah, completely off the bone. All right, let's start this promo read again. You guys ready? Brent, lock in.
All right,
Brent,
Magic Mind.
lock in. All right, so we are signing off. No, here we go. You guys ready? Ready? In 3, 2, 1. Now we're signing off here, folks. Fucking Butsy's laughing. God damn it. Folks, go to DevreuxGolf.com. Good old DEVEREUX golf.com. Utilize promo code PullHookGolf20 at checkout for 20% off your entire order. We also want to thank our partners in Johnny Walker. And we're out for the night. You guys ready for the music outro? Here we go.
Good.
Wow, that was it. Okay, we got to end this.